This has got to be one of the craziest tricks, one of the craziest, most viral videos of the year.
They're going to realize they need moto. They need freestyle.
I just want to see Twitch compete.
What if he goes too fast and he overshoots the top? Like there's nothing on the backside. It drops off 100 feet.
It has almost 5 years of watch time.
Like instead of fighting in the street where everyone's going to get arrested, we would just sanction them at my house.
If you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. Partner with the company that changed how humans view the world.
What's going on, guys? I'm Degidio, and we are back with another episode of the Jaxxon Sports Podcast. We have Twitch fully blown right now on whatever he felt the need to have on the way up to the podcast. When he shows up as Aspen Twitch, you know he's ready for a snowboard trip. The beanies on Twitch always bring just like a different side of you out that we love. We get that authentic, raw, rugged, and real Twitch when you roll in with the beanie. And that's what I love about you is that you can be loco. You are so ridiculously oversized that you just move the entire TV. And we have Tyler Bereman, the island hopper himself. Come on, man. You walked in, everybody was saying Moana's here. I said, why? They said, because he hops islands. I said, that's incredible. He does. And then we have the one and only, he currently has an X Games team in the X Games League, which I heard Moto is not a part of this year. So maybe we could start out
hot.
Maybe we could start off with this.
For starts, I don't have a team.
Oh, you don't?
I'm looking to get drafted to a team. And that's all I can tell you about the X Games League.
Well, we heard it's you, Nyjah, and...
well, we're founder athletes. So we're like a part of the decision-making and everything that's going on with what this X Games League is going to turn into. It's pretty much a 10-year game plan to turn it into the biggest competition league possible for action sports. But obviously still in the very early stages right now. And yeah, you caught me trying to brush my teeth and on a quarterly Zoom with all the owners, and it's been a long morning, bro.
Are you going head to head?
And it's only 10:30.
I'm here, bro.
Are you going head to head in the draft against Nyjah?
I would love to get drafted with Nyjah.
Oh, you guys could be on the same team.
We could be on the same team. So
Twitch, are you going to be on the team?
No, X Games isn't trying to thrive and go through the roof yet, so Moto's not involved yet.
These
you guys are just...
Is there a
bad,
reason why Moto
bad.
is not going to have a team?
We're too gnarly. You know?
Okay, well, I'll draft
we got to limit the success we're about to have. Like, we don't want it to be too big, too quick.
If I could choose three, I'm going Bereman, Twitch, and Patrick Evans.
That's a good combo.
That's a good combo.
For best trick, best whip,
solid
and,
lineup.
I mean, Red Bull hats everywhere. That's what I want. Well, you have a monster.
Yeah.
So beanie, DBK hats everywhere, and then a sprinkle of Red Bull.
Yeah.
And then Patrick Evans is what? Nomad. He rides Nomad.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool. Okay, so I want to really kick this off. Your biggest advocate and the guy that literally thinks you are the man is Twitch. They talk about you all the time. And this guy literally, I've never seen a friend put on for a friend as much as this guy puts on for you. And when he told me you were going to be doing this, I hit up Shecks. I said, yo, what's the odds of me getting a Red Bull hat and showing up and watching this? You know, I went to Lake Powell with Bonifay and I was doing the wakeboarding thing and I thought I'd be able to really keep up. I didn't. But when this came out, I was not expecting this because I saw you practicing over here in Hemet or wherever this is. This has got to be one of the craziest tricks, one of the craziest, most viral videos of the year. And we'll jump right into it off the break because I think that's what people want to hear from Twitch. You want to kind of kick us off to what you were thinking this guy was going to accomplish by putting out this insane video?
I knew what he was going to accomplish. I was waiting. I couldn't wait for it to happen because I knew how big it was going to be. And what we were just talking about on the way down here, it's the highest viewed video Apple's ever done in history.
Which
and it was with
pretty crazy.
Bereman. It was pretty cool.
And it's cool, man. Like, Apple is like one of the biggest companies in the world. And obviously you have one of the biggest like marketing companies in the world of Red Bull and what they do for their athletes. But to be able to partner with Apple on this and the whole thing shot on iPhone and basically like partner with the company that changed how humans view the world is absolutely insane. And for us as moto athletes, like to see a post with a moto in it pinned to Apple's page
pretty rad.
Is pretty cool.
It's something you don't see really from moto. You know, you see it from you see cool shit like that all the time from like skateboarding and BMX because I feel like it's so much easier to have access to where moto is a little bit harder, a little bit more expensive to get into. So it was cool to see that for sure.
100%. And that's what we like yearn for, right? Is to put moto in front of like a bigger, wider audience. And that's cool that like, you know, Apple being able to partner with us on this and then it being their most viewed video, it has almost 5 years of watch time.
It's gnarly. It's only been out for how long?
It's it released December 16th. So less than a month.
Yeah, less than a month. That's gnarly.
It's pretty crazy.
Twitch, you build jumps in your backyard. You built like literally an X Games track. I thought you were building it for X Games because I know you had mentioned
Bro,
it.
you gotta stop. Dude.
Well, he walked in here and told me,
bro.
He walked in here and
too
told me
much.
he didn't have an X Games team.
You're trying to get smoked, bro. All different angles.
I'm just going to say one thing. I'm not going to shit where I eat.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
hey, just wait. I mean, you guys, it's early stages.
Yeah.
They're gonna realize they need moto. They need freestyle.
I just want to see Twitch compete. But
You're not
again.
gonna be invited, bro.
I'm going. I'm the biggest advocate.
The big dogs there are gonna be like, this guy Bear is not allowed at any X Games.
Bro,
Here's a picture at the front gate. Don't
Yeah,
not let this
like,
I'm the
motherfucker
biggest
in.
X Games fan.
Even if
The
he has a
only dude
credential.
not allowed.
Yeah. If he has a credential, yank it.
I'm going for X Games.
Why don't we get a Jaxxon team? Why don't you buy a team?
Oh, you have to. Sponsors have to buy a team.
Well, you could buy a team.
Oh Jesus, I don't know if we could.
Just
do
give
that.
me a checkbook. I'll handle it.
Everything's negotiable. With
Everything's
some cheddar
negotiable.
biscuits, you know?
Everything has a price on it.
I hit up Steve.
Could you
Aspen.
imagine him as a general manager of a team?
No.
We would kill it. What do you mean? We would absolutely kill it.
I know.
We'd literally train
I'm
and we'd
stoked.
build a
I
private
know.
facility. We'd win everything. Everybody would be pissed because like the whole thing's fixed. But it's not. It's just that we're that good. We would kill it as a team. Listen, Twitch, you're building a track in your backyard. You built like an insane compound. Can you guys walk me through what it takes to build the practice track, the practice facility, and then build out the actual island hopping full stunt show that you kind of did? Because for the people at home that don't understand, like you built all this, right? It wasn't. There's not a track that connects all these islands.
Nope. So I guess just touching on Twitch's backyard, like that's what we've strived for always, is to have basically a skate park out of dirt to be able to ride our dirt bikes and be able to jump a bunch of different jumps and transfers and have fun. And he had his ramp in his backyard and had all of his boys, and that's one thing that I've always like strived to be like is Jeremy. And like the coolest thing about Jeremy is he supports all of his homies, like no matter what. He takes them under his wing and he supports them. So yeah, going into Island Hopper, like Jeremy now building his backyard, you get a lot of experience and learn a lot by building your own stuff.
Yep.
To then, like when you're in the tractor, you're sitting there and you're mentally rehearsing it and hitting it in your head, that by the time you get there and you go to put your helmet on and hit it,
You kind of can't wait to hurry up and ride,
and
because you're tired of thinking about it.
you know exactly what to do because
Yeah.
you've pushed it up. So with that being said, I'm going to give you guys a bit of a rundown on Island Hoppers. So flashback, F1 Miami 2 years ago, Red Bull does a really cool thing where they have, they call it an athlete summit. They get a bunch of athletes together from different disciplines. They put us, take us to an event or somewhere cool. Well, this one was around what they call an ideation session. The ideation session is 2 days of classroom schoolwork, basically, where they put a bunch of athletes in a room together and they teach you how to think of an idea, pitch the idea, simplify that pitch to the idea to a sentence.
Have
and
you
then-
been to these?
And then sell it.
I've just been always putting them on napkins, bro, and just sending them. Like,
Yeah.
this
Yep.
is what I want to do. This are the dimensions. This is what I need. Make it happen.
Yeah.
That's pretty. I think that's a pretty rad deal that Red Bull does, because, like, look what came out of this one.
Yeah.
And there's so many projects that have came out of those that, like, a lot of people don't even understand how it was created.
100%.
I think that's sick with Red Bull too. Is like we actually all get to hang out. So it's like even without those classes, like we're always just like, hey, what if we did this?
Yeah.
You know, what if that happened? Like Letitia was joking around and was like, I want to skate a flat bar out of the back of an airplane and then skydive. And that was like a joke. And we're like, oh, that's actually sick. And Red Bull was
And
like,
then
yeah,
they did it.
we'll make that happen, you know? And then this island hopper thing was just like so insane. And even watching it, I'm like, I could tell, like, yeah, the practice is necessary, but like I already knew, like, you could have showed up at the island and been like, game time.
100%.
Game, like with your eyes closed.
It would have been some trial and error though, for sure, just with, you know, the water being there to add a layer of like
fear
and technicality in a
Sure.
sense that yeah, it's one of those things. Like I want to just touch on like Red Bull, right? That when I first signed with Red Bull and I walked into headquarters for the first time, I saw Felix Baumgartner, RIP Felix, but saw his spacesuit sitting there. And I'm like, dude, this company put a dude in space.
Yeah.
And he jumped from space. So there's literally not a lot that this company like won't back when it comes to that. So did this ideation session. Parks, Bonifay, legend,
The best.
Like,
the man.
The fact that he narrated this made it even
that much better.
sicker.
I loved it.
But bro, and I'll let you get back. How was the clip with him,
dude,
wakeboarding?
is the best one.
Filming.
Yeah, iPhone. Like, bro, he's so sick.
And
dude.
so before any of the crew got there, I did 2 full pulls on Saturday before we filmed on Tuesday and Wednesday of the next week. And as soon as I got my first full pull, I like stopped at the back and I'm like, Parks, hop on the ski, hop on your board, like go back to one. I'm gonna ride around the lake. And dude, we nailed that shot.
Yeah.
First tee,
Of course.
before anyone got there. And we were like, oh, this is so on. At a point, Apple was kind of trying to basically cut that shot. And then once they saw it, then it turned into its own post.
Well, if
and
you're
shot.
Apple, bro, and you want excitement and you want adrenaline, like let the boys eat.
100%.
Yes.
Give us the phones.
100%.
Let us do what we're gonna do, and then watch it. Don't try to don't try to tell us what to do. Like
Yeah.
let us do it.
100%.
And then if you don't want to post it, don't,
Yeah.
because we will.
But we're going to. And it's
For
going to
sure.
do way better than what you wanted us to post.
And like the
Yeah,
dual
look at him, bro.
Look at his face. Like, it just makes the video, dude.
It's the
And
For the
like-
people watching at home, though, Tyler, can you break it down? Like, did Apple provide you with iPhones and say, we want this whole thing shot on iPhones?
Yeah, so with them, partnering with Red Bull and Apple, like this whole thing was gonna be shot on iPhone. So for the few months leading up to it, when we built the test line at Elsinore, they gave us a phone, gave me a phone to basically film BTS stuff the whole time. Which in Parks' clip right there, like the big feature of the new phone is the dual capture.
Yeah.
You get the face camera with the front camera, and that's a perfect like
That's insane,
showcase
Yeah.
of that new technology, right? But yeah, so going back to Miami, Parks was gonna do his barefoot heli tow, where he barefooted from the bottom of the Red Bull helicopter at the same property, and it was this ideation session was 2 weeks before he filmed that, and we're in the pool on lunch, and he over an adult beverage, and he's like, hey, I'm doing this project here. There's these 6 islands through it. Like, you think you can jump them? And I'm like, well, I don't know, but like show me. Pulled up Apple Maps and I like zoomed all the way in. My scale, when I zoom all the way in, you can't zoom in anymore. If you can see the takeoff and the landing, that's around 100 feet. So that immediately I was like, I think I could do it, but until I see it with my own 2 eyes and do a sight check, I don't know.
See
But
how
I
big
used
the actual gap is.
exactly, and I used it as a perfect opportunity to be like, okay, this is like, we just came up with this idea. And like, to echo on Shecks' point of like getting just other athletes around you, there's like a culture clash of like inspiration from other action sports of like, you're so into your thing that like you wouldn't, it's like the ignorance is bliss, or a blind eye that brings something to it that you would have never thought of.
Takes one of them to be like, hey, you think you could do this? Where a normal moto dude wouldn't
Yeah,
think like that.
exactly.
So I think that's dope.
So when I did that, I then, formulated this idea, and I did my whole like pitch, and we did drawings, and I like napkin drawings and like had so much fun with it. And then I got up in front of all my heroes and other Red Bull athletes at the top of their thing in their sport, and did my pitch, and like this fucking thing got greenlit before I even did a site check. And then at that point,
For sure.
it put the pressure on.
Yeah, you're
like,
like,
okay,
okay,
now I got to figure this out. So with that being
put the
said,
pressure on all the other athletes, and they're like, damn, bro.
Damn, we just thought of that 10 minutes ago.
but I will say Parks also pitched an idea of his he did barefoot on bioluminescence water,
Yeah,
where
bro.
it glowed.
Yeah, it's
and
so sick.
we both pitched our ideas, and we both made them happen within a year and a half, which was really cool.
That's dope.
And it just goes to show Red Bull doing this stuff, like
It pays
these
off.
ideas come and then we're giving them content. So that being said, it was a huge, that was, it got greenlit. I did the ideation session was in May. It got greenlit in July. I went back in November to basically to Florida where this was. And we built floating docks to figure out how I was going to jump from one island to the next, because some of the islands are too thin to have a landing on.
Yep.
So you couldn't really jump every single one.
Can't bring in dirt either.
You can't bring in dirt because it's over water. Like you can't get a tractor over water, and all the logistics that goes into that of like getting a tractor on a barge and getting the barge out there, let alone that, like all the scaffolding being brought out there, and the equipment.
This wasn't meant to happen. Like,
Bro, the more difficult, the more Red Bull is down.
100%.
I think that's rad.
What an insane brand that just supports the athletes, though.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Forever.
So once I did that test, I was then able to kind of like put this in motion of like, okay, like piece this puzzle together in my head. At that point, it was like, you know, the islands aren't perfectly straight. I partnered with Jason Baker of Dream Tracks, and he was my production manager on this whole thing, and obviously my lead builder of all my events. And he had just bought Lake Elsinore Motocross Park out here in California. So to be able to have that 15 minutes from my house, like we had a survey crew come in, survey all the islands over the water in Florida. And then we came back to Elsinore, had this survey crew. We staked out all of our points of where all the islands would be because they're not perfectly straight. They kind of turn. We had to do that to figure out how to put the puzzle piece of the scaffolding landings on the islands and the run-ins and how we could make these gaps all work. So building all the islands to scale was what we needed to do, and then piece this puzzle together. The cool thing about being able to do that was I got to ride it for 2.5 to 3 weeks leading up. So my muscle memory was so locked in. Obviously there was no water around it, but to be able to have that and be able to ride it, but we had to build the islands to scale to then build our landings for a survey crew to come back in, survey the dirt of like our angles, our heights, our widths, and then basically copy paste and replicate that in scaffolding to put on the island. So
it's a lot of trust too, to trust that those dudes are going to get it right and it'd be the same as what you were practicing.
Yeah.
Like,
and I mean, shout out to the crew, Jason Baker. There's nothing that dude can't do. Like if there's a problem, he's got a solution. And we brought in Dave Mateus, and
Dave Mateus, man.
Yeah,
He's the man. I heard he had to put everything up and then take everything down because the wind.
Yeah.
And then
yeah,
put it back up.
It was a lot. We ran into
the branding.
Florida's no joke, dude.
Yeah, and that was the biggest thing. Like, right, there was a lot of pressure on this whole thing, and then obviously Red Bull selling the partnership to Apple, one of the biggest brands in the world, like puts a lot of pressure on it. But the number one thing that we cannot control is Mother Nature. It's hurricane season in Florida, and like if we go in and we get a foot of rain in a hurricane, that completely changes our whole entire math equation of our survey.
The island might be gone.
Well, the island, like the water comes up, that exposes less of the island. So when I'm flashing it back to my site check that I did, it was after the back-to-back hurricane that they had in Tampa, and the gaps were bigger, less island was exposed, but it was still doable. And then when I went back a few months later to do the test, the water had came down, which exposed more of the islands, made the gaps a little bit shorter, but still the gaps were kind of like tech and tough. So with that being said, it was like literally a dream of a project. This whole thing is like a triple-edged sword, if you will, of like the first side of it is like, yeah, part of me is happy that it's over because like we executed. The biggest part of me is really bummed that it's over because I fucking love the creative process, the whole entire thing of the preparation and all that. And like, if you fail to prepare, you're preparing to fail. And I did so much preparation and breath work with Robbie Maddison at his house. And
what's up with the Robbie Maddison breath work? When did this
so
come
I had to, I wanted to basically go through all the scenarios in my head that like, if worst case scenario, something was to happen, I made a mistake and go in the water and my heart rate's up and, you know, my adrenaline spiked. How do I like teach myself to remain calm in like a stressful situation and hold my breath underwater? So we did with Sean Hayes, did a bunch of breath work training in the pool, and I was able to hold my breath for 3 minutes underwater. And while they were like pushing me, flipping me, spinning me, and all this stuff, so I then knew at that point that if the worst case scenario was to happen, and I went into the water, I know what to do and know how to remain calm. Obviously, we have safety crews and waters and divers and stuff there to get to me, but I just wanted to know that I prepared for the absolute worst case scenario, to know that once I got there, that I prepared for the worst case scenario, that the rest was now easy.
When Robbie did the pipe dream video with DC, we just pulled it up right here, and he's like surfing a wave. Did he do a lot of this preparation for that water stunt? Is that where he gave you advice?
Yeah.
What was some of the advice he gave you?
He
Don't die.
Yeah, I mean, as you could tell, Robbie was in the ocean at one of the gnarliest waves in the world, and he had to do a lot of underwater training and breath hold training in a scenario of a big wave, like whatever they call that, like the wave interval, right?
Yeah.
He had to do the
In between
interval
the sets.
testing in between sets, and
Let's just for 1 second, bro.
Yeah.
He's so psycho.
yeah,
Dude, when he
Watching
told
the
me
iconic wave in
when
Tahiti.
he told me he was gonna do this, I'm like, you're fucking crazy.
I wouldn't even go out there, bro.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't, maybe on a boat, but like, dude, what in the world, man?
Twitch, when this
Hey,
video
you
came
saw
out,
me at the wave pool for your birthday. There's no way that I would get out there. I would die. Like even though I did
this
the
is
breath
most
hold training,
iconic
I would
wave
die.
in
Yeah.
Tahiti. Twitch, when
It's
he told
gnarly.
you that he was going to do this, what did you tell him?
Just trying to surf jump.
I didn't tell him anything. In my head, I'm like, you fucking crazy. But it's like if one of your friends has an idea that he's gonna do, when they start talking about it, it's already in
done.
their head that they've
Yeah.
already
It's
done
already
it.
done.
So it's like, am I gonna put doubt in his head? I'm like, no. I'm like, fuck, let's do it. You know
There's
what I mean?
one
Like,
thing you don't do is tell Matta that he can't do it because he can and he will.
yeah. Any one of my friends, when they're like, I think I'm gonna do this. I'm like, when they say I think I'm gonna do this, they've already calculated every risk, everything in their head where they've already done it. So I don't second guess any of my buddies when they're doing it.
I've
I'm
been
like,
losing sleep lately over this Red Bull project that I have coming up.
you got one coming up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shecks, what are you
It's
cooking?
gnarly. But in your head, you've already done it.
I've done it. I've also like played out the scenario of like
If it doesn't work.
of the not work.
And that's the hard thing is like when you plan something like this and you're doing it, you're like, okay, cool. Mentally I did it, but then you're like, then you start thinking about the what ifs. What if that doesn't work?
Yeah, but those are necessary because you
Yeah.
cannot go into
100%.
something that is possibly career ending or life ending, honestly, and think like, oh, it's gonna be all good. Like I have to weigh the fact of like, okay, if my bushings go rogue, if something goes rogue last minute, like where is my escape route? And then you get the escape route planned out, that's fine. But then when the actual stunt comes and you have to take out all the precautionary measures and it's game time, like that fear of failing is what is going to make me land the
Yep.
trick.
100%.
Yep.
Because I cannot leave my kids. I can't leave my
No.
wife. Like I'm not going out like that. So yeah, I mean, dude, there's one coming up in the next couple months that like we're working on, and it's a 35-foot gap, and it's gnar.
I love
gnar.
it.
Shecks, and then Twitch, I want to ask you this too. Bereman, we just saw what you did. Jumping over water is no easy thing, let alone going island to island to island. And then, like you said, the math equation of setting up the structural ramps and the dirt and just everything that goes in that. It's an equation. I totally see that. Shecks, for you on a board, you just find things. You don't have the luxury of like setting up ramps. You just literally go around the world looking for things.
Well,
that you
for
can
this
jump
next
off
one
of.
coming up with Red Bull, I will have to do the full setup. I'll have to do like
really?
an open space, like with the rolling that I need, and I'll start with a small gap, and I'll eventually get to the distance that is required to make this thing, and then I will do that 100 times.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh wow.
And then once it comes time to the game time, then I'm going to try a trick over it. But I'm not going to try my trick until I get to the thing, because that's when the adrenaline will be the highest and I'll be most locked in.
Yeah.
That's I was gonna say that's when you're gonna be the most focused.
I'm not
and
going
that's
to
gonna
get
be the best time to do it.
in
Yeah.
practice. I'd rather get hurt on the stunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
So what goes into this? Do you have to go to Red Bull and say, "Hey, I want to put together this video"? Because like your lifer video part that we all went to the premiere in LA was insane, and then you also had like a
So this will be
documentary
different
came
from
out
that.
with
This
it.
won't be in the streets. This is like well, I guess I can just talk about it. It's water towers. So it's these two water towers that are about 35 feet apart from each other, about 35 feet in the air,
Wow.
and need to set up a ramp from one side. And it's like the classic Jeremy Ray, who's a skateboarder. He ollied these two water towers, smaller gap, but nonetheless, it was insane. But I want to take it to another level, almost on a Red Bull kind of style. And
Sick.
but yeah, I mean, dude, it's, with that, it's specific math. And the thing I think that a lot of people don't realize, especially with like with moto athletes, with myself included. Like if I'm looking at a 10 stair, I know immediately what speed I need and how fast, like what pop I need to get from top to bottom. And that's all math.
Yeah.
I can't write that math down.
No.
Yeah. You
But
can't
I-
explain it.
But you can calculate it in your head.
And it's all in milliseconds. So like the calculations that happen even on the moto, like on the island hopper, that whole time you're calculating. It's all speed, it's all feel, it's all vibration, it's all the brain doing the fastest math possible in physics and just knowing what needs to be done to get to where you need to go. Yeah. But I can't write that down. You know? Like,
it's even hard to explain.
You can't.
I can't
teach
explain it unless
either.
I'm talking to you guys.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't.
100%.
I can't.
A normal person whose brain doesn't work like that wouldn't get what you were saying. Like,
Or some
what do you mean?
crazy math teacher would be like, "You're doing math the whole time." And I'd be like, "All right, whatever." But you know,
Yo, yeah, I failed math, but I can do this kind of math. Like,
I was literally
I
just
know-
thinking that I didn't get very
But,
far
like,
in math, but
for
it
example,
works.
Twitch, when you set up these jumps in your backyard, like CJ told me, like these jumps were huge. He got there and he said Adam
there's
was
the
there.
So imagine that water tower on the left, but like pretty much double.
So we're looking at the Jeremy Ray water tower.
I remember
ollie.
seeing this.
yeah,
back
and
in
this
the
is
day.
iconic, bro. This
Yeah.
is
Yeah,
this is
very
iconic.
iconic.
But the one that I want to do is a little more than double the. There's no way to do it without a ramp.
You need the speed.
Yeah, I need the speed.
And
because the
are you
distance
gonna-
is so big, right?
Yeah, bro.
You're gonna launch off the ramp too.
I'm gonna launch off the ramp and
You
hopefully land.
build like a roll in and stuff.
I'm gonna have to build a roll in,
Yeah.
a little kicker, a little landing,
Yeah,
and then hope I don't zip off the end.
you got this.
See, that's how I would like. I was tripping when Matto jumped onto what is that hotel in Vegas, the
Caesars.
Arc
yeah.
de Trump or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the whole time in my head, I'm like, what if he goes too fast and he overshoots the top? Like there's nothing on the backside. It drops off 100 feet. You know what I mean? Like,
he
wow.
overshot the landing.
Oh yeah.
yeah, I know,
Bro.
which was gnarly. And here's the fucked up thing about Robbie. He could have. He's the one that designed the
For
step
sure.
down and drop. He could have made it like the easiest like wedge landing possible. Like the stunt was jumping up it, but I think everyone remembers more of like the jumping down.
The
like
jumping,
that's what
the jumping down
overshadowed
the
everything.
most psycho, bro.
So
Yeah.
we pulled up the Robbie Maddison video on New Year's Eve of him jumping the Arc de Triomphe in Las Vegas. Twitch, you were there through all
Oh, bro, he almost.
So nice.
Bro, my heart sank the whole time we were there. The step down is the gnarliest. but
This is
landing
all
right here.
adrenaline, bro. This is adrenaline. This is why you
when-
do the practice because
Yeah.
This
you
is right before the ball dropped on New Year's. Like
Yeah.
it's gnarly, dude. Like Vegas was going off. Like and it's
just
straight down, dude.
grab
So
a little too much
I
throttle.
did his aircraft project with him, and they remade this jump up to a container floating from a giant crane,
I remember that.
and they basically the exact same drop off of that. Dude, they had like a
Bro, this gives
like
me
science guy kind of there, and for every mile an hour you go out 3 to 5 feet. So
Yep.
he had to ride off of this literally at like 2.5 miles an hour. You know how fucking hard that is on a
You
motorcycle.
got to get the blob.
And he's also in third gear.
yeah, you
dropping
just-
down.
You have
Why
to
is he in third gear?
Because first would be too touchy. Second, like he didn't like. Third just felt comfortable for him.
Second,
just-
too, when you're
Yeah,
landing
to be
that
that slow.
fast,
Yeah.
that when your wheel hits the ground, you're gonna need to be in a higher gear for the RPMs to catch
Oh
up.
my gosh,
If
bro.
he's in-
Brr.
If he's in too low of a gear,
Dude.
his tire can slide, and then by the bottom of the transition, he'll slide out.
Like I just got nervous as hell watching it.
I
right
know.
now. Like my heart's like,
Hey,
j- like
like
gnarly.
you guys know, because you do this. Like he knew he overshot it.
he knew
yeah.
instantly.
As soon as
he
he
knew right
left.
away.
but like letting
mean,
go.
What do
of-
you do? You're in the middle of
You're
the
along
air.
for the
Nothing.
ride. There's nothing you
Nothing.
can do.
You want the suspension at
Yeah.
that point. No matter how the suspension's hitting, you need suspension at that point.
And the gnarliest thing too that like you don't really see right there, like where his landing is, just to the left of it of the landing was the underground parking structure that went underneath the ramp because they still had to be able to park cars all night underneath the hotel.
Yeah.
It was so sketchy, dude.
But like, okay, so for example, you do jumps every day. Twitch, you do jumps every day. The adrenaline, I know it's a lot different because this is a big production, but like just jumping something in your backyard that's 20 feet tall, you still have the same level of adrenaline, or is it different? A different
It's
level?
different. You still get that adrenaline
For the
rush,
first
especially when it's
time.
the first time. You know
First
what I mean?
time,
Like when
yeah.
we're building all new jumps at my house, I for sure get a little nervous, but I like it. And like
Yeah.
back to what he said is like I was building everything mostly myself. So I'm staring at everything the whole time I'm building it. So in my head, I've already jumped it a million times.
Well, and there's a comfortability too of being at your home.
Yes.
100%.
You know, there's something knowing that your bed is like that you're in a
Right there.
in a safe place.
Yeah.
You know, so if something goes wrong, at least you're on your couch.
If I get weeded, I'm going to go lay on my couch and it's right there.
At least you're at your
Yeah.
home. You know, like I think I have a question for you guys. Like, what's your most comfortable distance? What's the most comfy distance that you've hit a million times that you're like, bro, 75 feet is like, I could close my eyes, hit the ramp. Know exactly what's
That's
going
it right there.
75?
Yeah, that's what our jumps are all set at normally.
That's like our comp ramp, and like the transition, the radius of the transition is like no matter what ramp, no matter where you're at in the world, as long as it's 75, it's going to be exactly the same every time.
and you know second gear is going to get
There
you there.
is a little nuances of different ramps. I think now these days it's gotten a little closer, but like Australia and Europe had a different radius. Like it was a
Okay.
little steeper through the middle, or a constant radius, where the US radius was a little flat in the middle. But once you know the distance and the speed, no matter the radius, like it all feels the exact
So
same.
even with the radius being more pitchy, how does that work with the preload at the same speed? So the same speed, same everything, but even a more pitch, it's the same?
It's really similar.
It's like it's not enough of like, it's literally like the flat piece is like, it's something that like it would be like adjusting like some suspension. Like if a supercross racer like Jet Lawrence like came in a supercross like
Setup?
practice,
Yeah,
and then
okay.
he came in and he's like, hey, I need to go 3 clicks on the suspension in
It's
the
a little
shock.
kicky. I need it
like,
slowed down.
He can probably feel that, but like if you were to ask me or him and we did 3 clicks, it's like, I don't know, feels great. You
So
know?
how's your comfortability level going from 75 to 120?
I feel like his is really good. He likes bigger jumps.
For me, the bigger
Is that fourth gear or third gear?
third.
Third,
You can hit a 120 in second.
wide open.
Full blown.
Yeah.
But if you come up short, it's going to hurt bad.
Yeah. I prefer hitting things like a 120 in third, just because I don't like to be too high in the RPMs when I go to pull for a whip. Like you need to rev the bike to have the wheel spin, to the inertia for it to come
sure.
back to the wheels. That like if you're in too low of a gear, your RPMs, your wheel won't spin as fast because your RPMs are basically maxed and redlined. That it then like gets a little weird. I prefer to be a little lower in the RPMs coming off, so that I have more room to rev the RPMs up.
That makes
in the
sense.
air.
What would there be like a like what would happen if you were in second gear maxed, hit that and then clicked into third when you were in the air? Would that change anything?
No.
No, depending like if you're a little nose down because you're so revved out, it would help with that
Yeah.
because your wheel's going to keep spinning quicker. Like the inertia of the front,
Pull you
of the
up.
rear wheel's going to
Yeah.
bring the front wheel higher. But like I know this motherfucker, a lot of times he'll jump something in second gear and click third in the air, even if there's like a little jump after it, and he'll still jump it in third gear. He's just
I don't know why. It's like, it's funny that you say that, and it made me really think on that, because I'm like, man, like if I hit a 120 in second, it'll pull my front end up more in second because I'm higher in the R's
Sure.
off the lip.
Yeah.
But then if I click to third, then I could then let the wheel spin faster in the air and like
Kind of
achieve my whip a little bit better. But to his point, every time I whip, like I just have a tendency to hook my toes under the shift lever to like as leverage. To
I
pull
saw it
bike
on the
back.
island hopper.
Yeah, and because I do that, I land and click into third. The island hopper thing was really cool because I was in second gear all the way up through the first ramp. And then once I got to island 3 before the first 120, there was like a little dirt, like shark fin, like berm to berm jump. And on that jump is when I click third in the air. And then from there, I'm third gear the rest of the time, which was kind of nice to not worry about like, oh, I got to slow down enough that I have to be in a lower gear. At that point, the rest was all just kind of like rhythm section where you're carrying your speed and not needing to gain speed quickly.
So there's no way, and obviously I know this, there's no way to gain speed once you're in the air, once you've taken off the ramp.
You're
But
along for
you
the
can
ride.
control pitch and down and
Yeah.
everything like that. What's the safest way, like, just because I've done it before and I did it wrong, got knocked out, but like what's the safest way to case a jump? Are you jumping off the bike or are you taking it?
I'm taking it. Everyone, I feel like everyone has a different opinion depending on how short you're coming up. But I look at it like I got a foot of suspension I can use that my body can't.
Yeah, you like think about your legs being suspension plus being on the bike. You have another 12 inches at least of travel. So
Sure.
like you're basically combining
about
2 pairs
20.
of shocks, right?
Yeah.
Like
What about when you're in the air and you just know like you're not going to make it?
It's just
It's that split second decision of sometimes like, oh, I'm this short. I do need to get away from my bike.
Yeah.
Or you're like, it ain't going to be that bad. I'm just going to try and ride it out.
the thing is, for me personally, I will never, ever, ever, ever jump from the bike unless I absolutely have
for
to.
sure. No, that makes sense.
Like even if I'm gonna be short, like I'd most like depending on how short, right? There's obviously a fine line there, but I'm gonna eat it. I'm gonna take it like as hard as I can. And jumping as many jumps as I have, like I feel like I'm pretty damn good at casing shit.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've learned that like if you know your instinct when you know you're gonna come up is to want to panic rev and be wide open to like kind of bounce through the case. But a lot of times when you're gonna come up short and you're pinned and your wheels spinning faster, it's gonna then give you the next like
yeah.
like over the
but
bars. Like
kind of the bug out.
I've learned to like know I'm gonna case it, like land with my finger on the clutch, like finger on the front brake, foot on the rear brake, and like land on the brakes and just stop my momentum.
Yeah.
Most of the time when that happens, you're fucking your chin is the first one to hit the bars, and I've had way too many sets.
I've
of
seen yours
stitches in my
split open
chin.
a few times.
Yeah, so but that's just it's a give and a take, right?
Like it's better than
the one time that I did have to jump from the bike. My bike ran out of gas at the bottom of a lip of like 100-foot step up, and when my bike ran out of gas, it basically stalled off the lip. So when the bike stalls and shuts down, like shuts off, the first thing it does is go like that. So it immediately dropped off the lip, and I had no choice but to step through the bars and then just roll the windows up. And I completely destroyed my ankles, both of them. So I was just like,
I've watched this guy break both his feet.
yeah. Like we just on this video that
I think
he
I
has,
cried.
We just pulled up the day in the life
Doesn't
video
feel
on
good.
YouTube, on Twitch's
No,
new
Dew Tour.
YouTube.
I'm talking
And-
about early Dew Tour days,
Oh,
bro.
yeah.
I was on the ground.
That one was gnarly.
Taka crashed in this YouTube video that Jeremy just put out, and when he crashed, he jumped off the bike. Like if it was me and I was watching it, I would have ate it. But he jumped off, and luckily he's got like ninja feet. But
Yeah.
like, dude, when he hit and it's about to come
How
up,
much
like
did Talk away though?
exactly.
135 pounds
Okay,
maybe.
so, dude, the difference between 130, especially in skate too, the difference between 130 and 170 where I'm sitting is
100%.
Big difference.
Huge.
is the most psycho difference. Like
Yeah,
I
like
have-
right here. He goes long and then jumps off at the last second, and his ankles, like look at like the slow-mo.
Blows the foot off there.
His ankles, like look at like my ankles.
Oh, my leg.
Snap.
Anytime I jump off anything right now, my ankle is so brittle it breaks.
Yeah.
100% I know I'm breaking a leg if I eat shit and I go
That's
if
like,
I go to a leg.
That's like your Baltimore crash right there. Like
Yeah.
of how your ankles like basically folded to your shins and like
Oh my god, bro, that was
yeah.
That
so
one sucked.
gnarly, dude.
Yeah.
It was
Twitch,
so gnarly.
This jump that we're watching right now of Taka in your backyard, how big are these jumps?
that one's not even big. The one he both of those ones that he crashed on are like the smallest ones in my yard.
You still can't do them, Bear.
Well, no,
is
I
true.
mean,
I mean,
I've been looking at them.
You could try it like Taka did.
Yeah, I mean, I've been looking at them.
Bro.
That jump's called the Taka jump now. Like everyone's like, what jump? We're like, oh, the Taka jump.
How many times a month or week are you redoing the track in your backyard? All these jumps.
Depends on how much
Just
it
depends.
rains.
And it depends on like when
How
I'm
fun
building
it
something,
is.
if I turn around and I'm like, oh shit, we could jump to here.
Yeah.
Or after we ride, Bereman or Pat's like, dude, you know what would be sick is another jump right here. And I'm like, oh, and I just get bored and start building stuff.
And that's like the cool thing of like we were talking
That's why
earlier,
dirt
like,
is cool.
when you're building
Concrete's
it.
just
Yeah.
the same.
You kind of like,
The imagination
we
of
have what
building
we
out the
have.
track.
The more you start pushing dirt around, the more it starts popping up. You're like, oh, well, what if you put one there and here and here and here? And that's like my imagination event that I did. That's what it turned into, like a 20-acre skate park on absolute
Insane.
fucking steroids. you know?
Is the current climate of action sports, and Shecks, you can kind of chime in on this too, but Twitch, do you feel like now we're at a point where the content and kind of having your own track, your own yard, your own jumps, this is where like action sports is moving to, like direct to consumer content in a way where it's like you're the fulfiller of your own destiny?
I feel like if you're going in that route where you want to film content, you better have your own shit or your own jumps or building stuff all over the place all the time.
Yeah, that also takes like, you got to take risk to like know that what you're going to do is going to get eyeballs and actually be able to fund your project,
Yeah.
I think,
100%. I mean, you were one of the first to have a skate park, your own skate park in San Clemente, and kind of rewrote the rules a little bit for skaters. I remember being a young kid and everybody's like, Sheckler built his own skate park.
It's almost 20 years ago though, but I knew what I needed. I knew what I needed. And I also knew that like my life at that time was so chaotic, and everywhere I went, people were like, wanted to see me. And
you couldn't just go somewhere and skate.
I couldn't practice because I had this mental block going on where I'm like, if people are watching me skate, I have to be skating amazing.
It's X Games mode. You're like, I'm landing everything I do.
I couldn't practice. Like I couldn't practice at a normal skate park because
too much pressure.
Well, I just didn't want to fall.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't like trying to learn new tricks because I was just like always in front of people. So I was like, man, I have to just be on. And so when I built a skate park, then I could train how I wanted to. Then I could practice the tricks and I could fall all day long.
You could do the same thing over and over and over.
Not having anyone see me. And then I realized how important it was to have your own park, because I would go to these contests and, I built a 14 stair in my skate park. Like that's unheard of. Even today, it's unheard of. And I would practice all my tricks on a 14 stair. So like no matter what I went to, however big it was, like I already had 6 tricks on lock.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then shortly after that, Nyjah built one, P-Rod has his own, and then it became kind of like a thing, like all these icons have their own kind of internal practice facility.
For sure. And then you're building that into contracts. If you have a good agent, you're building in the funding of your skate park into your contract and the monthly payments for it.
Yeah. I mean, one of my favorite things to do back then to support you was to get sponsorship walls in your skate park.
For sure.
But we have all of our logos in there. It's like the coolest thing. It's first of all, it's the most authentic content because that place used to be a party. Second of all, everybody skating there at the time and even now is like the who's who of skating, and Shecks is always inviting people down. I feel like that's what you're doing in your backyard. It's very similar,
Like people want to go ride at Twitch's house. Like people want to go skate at my park, even if it's like they don't know what they want to do in there. They just want to go see it and like see the blue wall and the orange wall and like be in there. Because there's history there. There's history at your house.
We get so many people pulling up in the cul-de-sac next to my house, just like watching us ride, like homeschool kids. Like they go to the park there a little bit and they'll just line the whole fence line and watch us ride for hours.
There's nothing cooler than that, dude.
No, it's pretty cool.
And that's the next wave of, that's the next generation that's like watching what you're doing. Doesn't have the means to get a dirt bike, but is going to figure out how to get one because they want to do that.
Yeah. And my plan for this year was like, okay, I'm like, I want to film more content. I'm like, that's why I started building more jumps. I'm like, I need cooler shit to film, And then I, like you said, figuring out like your sponsors. So I talked to all my sponsors. I'm like, hey, I'm going to rebuild my whole place, but I'm going to put branding everywhere.
Yep.
Who wants to be on it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Hey, if I get a 250, can I leave it at your house?
Yeah.
Sick.
Come ride. We'll build you jumps just for you.
Oh, thanks.
I want to say too, like when you
but he can actually ride a motorcycle and jump jumps.
I know how to jump.
I got 250s. I got a 110 at your house.
We could set up an airbag and you would for sure still find a way to get hurt.
No, I think if I go there, I could hit one of those smaller
the
jumps.
airbag is terrifying.
I could hit one of the smaller jumps at your house.
No, like Patrick just hit me up this morning on my way down here. He's like, I got a flat bag I want to set up because I want to start doing front flips like every day. He's like, can I set one up out back? I'm like, go for it.
He wants to start practicing front flips.
He's already doing them. Like his first one, he stuck perfect into the pit.
And Matto's into the foam pit.
Is that the best way, real quick, is that the best way to practice those bigger tricks when you're trying to build up your
foam pits?
You can still get hurt, but it
You
is
can
the
get
best way.
smoked, bro.
Yeah.
You still get smoked.
You can
There's
still
no,
get smoked
there's
in
no
a foam
easy
pit?
way on a dirt bike, bro. Yeah, of
In a
course.
foam pit?
I've had friends die in foam pits. I've had people
Bro, you get
break
pinned
femurs,
down.
legs, hands,
Oh,
like
man.
backs, like in a foam pit.
You don't belong in a foam pit. You
I
will
belong
find
on
a
a
way
bike.
to get stuck under the pipe.
belong on a
and
bike.
burn straight to the bone.
Brother, I belong on a bike. Yo, Shecks, real quick, this video just popped up. It's you doing a...
That was the first backflip ever done in contest. And then
Did you practice this?
No, I was just goofing, bro.
Did you feel like you already had won the event or something?
Yeah, and then I fall right here because I was like, nah.
Because you were so hyped on the backflip, not even thinking about nothing else, right?
Man, those are old times.
How
bro.
do you put together runs like for events like Twitch? I've never really asked you this. Like, how would you put together your runs? You write them all down?
Me, myself,
Yeah.
I used to write them down on paper and study them and then go out there and do them, where most dudes would take a piece of paper and a marker and write a whole fucking trick list on their front fender or on their bar pad or on their gas tank. But I never thought that was cool. And I've always been about style. So I never wanted my bike looking like shit with a bunch of tricks written all over it. I'm like, if you can't remember 10 to 18 tricks that you do every single fucking day in your own head, I don't think you should be out there. Where most of the dudes that I would ride contests against you would see them do like something dope, and then they would stop and look and then look up and go and do another trick, where I always in my head, I was like, bro, that is lame, dude. Like that is so lame.
Nate used to do that.
Yeah, like there was dudes that would beat me that would do shit like this, and I would get mad because I'm like, yeah, your trick was cool, but you look like shit from the time you landed till you got off the next jump. Your fucking elbows are down, your knees are out. Like, it's just zero style involved. Where to me, I can honestly say I never wrote tricks down on my bike and rode a contest, bro, because I hated the way it looked.
But that's why it was fun watching you. Like, that's why it was also fun watching Pastrana.
Yeah.
Dude, he was just absolutely super
half the time
cross-tracking
you knew
that
what
thing.
you wanted to do, but your run would change. Like Pastrana, he never wrote all that shit down
Pastrana
on
doesn't
his bike.
even know that he was riding a dirt bike.
No, he
didn't even
blacked
know what
out.
he was
Like he would
gonna
just
do.
go do his tricks and
Yeah.
like kill it. You know what I mean? But it's like that's the skill level I felt like if you were going to be out there that you needed.
Yeah.
Did
You
you
know?
did you ever consult anybody on your team or any of your friends and be like, yo, this is my trick list. What is yours?
No, bro.
No. I think for me, I was just trying to remember my run in my head. You know what I mean? Like I would,
Yeah.
And then there was a point too, like I remember X Games one year, it's like, okay, like there's 3 runs and not one of them better be the same.
Oh, wow.
So I remember that year, I was like, all right, I'd write run 1 on paper, run 2, run 3. I would finish run 1, I'd come in, I'd open up my notebook. I'm like, all right, run 2. Boom, boom, boom. And I would have to put dirt hit, ramp, dirt hit, wall ride, like to remember what I was doing.
Yeah.
Damn.
And then I would get out there and I would remember my first couple tricks and then I would just go and just
Yeah.
remember as I was going.
What about you, Shecks? Like your lines
Like when I was a kid, when I was a kid first going, my dad would somehow find what course we were skating, and he was an engineer and like a really good drawer, and he would get a poster board and he would draw out the whole skate park.
No way.
And I would sit there with one of those old pink erasers and I would map my run out, and I would just map it out and visualize, and then I'd get to the
Yep.
park and do it.
So sick.
How would you
I
remember
love
it
that.
during
So
the
cool.
event though? You just knew.
Because, bro,
It's just
I'm
second nature.
I'm just a student of skateboarding. You know, it's the same as Twitch and Tyler. Like,
Yeah.
this is what we do.
Yeah.
You know,
This is what I studied for
this
when
is
I was
what
in
we do.
school, not how to fucking get to 27 on 4 different math equations. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know, and I see all the coaches these days, and there's no shade. There's no shade at all. What a great additive to have to any athlete, to have an extra set of eyeballs to like do it. But it gets to a point where it takes the creativity of the actual athlete away, because it's so structured that you don't get to have your choice. That's why I've never won a street league. People would tell me what to do, and I would say, no, no.
I'm going to skate how
I'm going to skate, and I want to land this trick no matter what. Like,
I'd rather be the crowd favorite than win the contest.
they're like, dude, all you need to do is get a 2. I'm like, yeah, but I'm trying a 9. Like, I don't care.
That's why, like, there's something to be said about being authentically you and doing like what feels good to you.
Yep.
And like that aside, like, fuck the results. If you're doing things for the right reasons, then the rest comes along with it.
I want to land the trick that I set out to do. And if it took me 5 tries, then it wasn't my day.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
but the crowd sees you going back to back to back, like trying it. And then they get behind you because they're like, all right, he does not care about winning.
They see
he
the
just
heart.
wants this trick.
For sure.
Let's get him. Let's hype him up.
There's been so many events too, like where you write your list down and you get out there and you get mixed up. And I think for us, your skill level just takes over and you're like, well, I haven't done this yet. I haven't done that.
Yeah,
Every time you land, I'm like, I haven't
immediately.
done that. You
Bro,
know what I mean?
that's the math I'm talking about. That's
Yeah.
the quick thinking that I'm talking about. Is like, if a run goes rogue for me, I still have 100 different tricks. Like, I don't have to, I'm not married to the one. I'd like to get this line because my OCD is like, this is what we've played out.
In my head, I planned this.
Yeah, but I'm also real quick to change the script, flip the script, and do something different.
Yep.
Was there a time where, like, even for you, Twitch, as we wrap this up, was there a time, Shecks, I'll start off with you, where results obviously mattered more when it came to
100%.
sponsorship and dollars, but now it's more about content and views? Do you feel like the game's changed?
I mean, dude, I don't really care, honestly. Like, still to this day, like I'm posting. I'm trying to stay the most authentic to me and to like my fan base who's been with me forever, bro. Like, they know the second I'm posting something that's a little goofy. Like, so I'm very aware of what I post nowadays, and sometimes I'll go without posting for weeks, bro. Like, I just forget because I got my kids and my girl, and I'm just chilling. Like, but back in the day, like, I wanted to win more than anybody. Period. And I was gonna beat you. Period. But that was the mindset. My mindset was I'm better than you. And so I lived in that. I adopted that mindset and I hammered it. But that's a really dangerous place to live continuously. And I couldn't live there anymore. Like, I couldn't live there anymore, especially when, you know, my behavior outside of the actual competing world, like my drinking and like, it was just getting too crazy. And I was still thinking that I could win when I hadn't put the work in. And then getting beat was like demoralizing. And like, that sends you further. For me, it sent me further into the spiral and into like addiction. But then when I came out of all that and like got sober and just kind of like, you know, put Christ first and just like really got my life in order, the ego part of having to be better than you left. I'm still competitive. Like, I still want to beat you at everything, but it doesn't consume me anymore.
Yeah,
and I'm okay with the loss, you know?
Yeah.
I'm okay with the loss. It's all right.
I feel like I was pretty similar. Like, I always wanted to win, and the main reason I wanted to win is because I knew I was better than you. I knew I worked harder during the week than you. Like,
Sure.
I knew I had more bike skill than you, so I always wanted to win. But I'd say like within the last like 5 to 7 years of me riding, like the only reason I ride my bike now is because I want to have fun. Like, that's why I've been riding more, you know. And going back to like with posting, it's like, dude, if I will never force content. If I don't have something cool to post, I just won't post it. Like, I don't care.
But you're so good at staying consistent, like your video vlogs, the podcast. You're so you. Like, I couldn't even pay to change you if I wanted to.
That's just me being busy and always having something to do. Like, I don't like
you guys are all cut from a different cloth. And Tyler, I'll kind of throw you into that mix too. Is like, you, like, I couldn't pay Sheckler to be who Sheckler isn't. I can't pay him to put out a product he doesn't want to put out. The guy cares more than anybody I know. So do you, and I gravitate towards those people too. You guys inspire me every day to be better, to put out things that we want to do. You're constantly figuring out ways how to elevate a podcast. So it's like, I do think though that that's a different mindset. I feel like a lot of the current skaters and a lot of the, there's a legend right there.
Oh, Mr. Caballero
just walked in. So I do feel like there's so much there that a lot of the current generation that is growing up like on TikTok and Instagram hasn't seen, which is these like those years where the only place I could see Sheckler was at a competition. You know, like I remember going to the Maloof Money Cup in Orange County when P-Rod won. Sheckler was like Justin Bieber, and we were friends at the time. And I was like, I don't even want to go around him because I'm scared I'm going to throw him off. And then you see him walk around, and there's like 10,000 people going nuts for him. I'm like, geez, like this is not the same level.
That specific competition was so gnarly because that was the one that Kobe showed up to.
Yeah, it was insane.
And Kobe knew everybody, bro. Kobe knew everybody. Walked up to me, "What's up, Sheckler?"
Which is gnarly, right?
Like the Maloofs brought different energy. Oh, dude.
What was going on and like was a fan of skateboarding. And that's where I like, that tripped me out the most was seeing Kobe there and Kobe knowing what was going on. And he knew what tricks were happening. Like
that's when you're like, whoa.
And he was front row and he stayed the whole time. He stayed the whole time.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I remember, for the people that are watching this too, it's like I have a different level of respect because I'm not a skater. I don't ride moto. Like I do it as a fan. I watch it as a fan. I'm friends of you guys. But what you guys do is such gnarly content. I mean, I'll try. Sheckler almost
skill's not there, but the heart is one.
Sheckler almost drowned me at Lake Powell, so I'll never go back in the water because of him. He put me on a wakeboard and literally almost drowned me.
Is that why you didn't surf at my birthday?
Yes. Oh, wait, can we talk about this real quick before we wrap up? Sheckler threw a 20th anniversary. Congratulations being with Red Bull 20 years. And his birthday. And Sheckler threw a massive shaker at the Palm Springs Surf Club. He invited me out. I brought Cole Hoshman to take my surf spot. He's a professional surfer. He's pretty nasty.
Yeah, we all know Cole.
Yeah. So we brought out Cole Hoshman instead. And I brought out CJ for moral support in case I went in there. But CJ doesn't know how to even float. So I didn't let him go in the water. Bereman was out there. Sheckler was out there.
And my name was out there.
Yo, you were on my heat.
Stenberg.
Yeah, me and Chris were in the same heat.
I woke up so sick. I was like, dude, there's no way.
No.
But can we talk about this real quick before we let everybody go, I mean, 20 years of Red Bull. You're now on Red Bull. You've been there since you were a kid. That hat is iconic on your head. And then you had so many dope people out there. You had Zion and you had Cordano. You had all the boys. And it's like,
Boy.
Again, to see that, like Sheckler, you bring everybody together. You have Red Bull behind you. But what an amazing event. And for
but
you
it
to
was
be
a
surfing.
it was a small group, you know? I think that's what's happened over the years is it's kind of gnarly, bro. You kind of start to see who's really your friend, you know?
100%.
And when I was doing the kind of the invites for that thing, I went back 6 months in my phone.
Who do I actually want to see?
Not even that. Who actually has been hitting me up to see how I'm doing?
Yep.
Yeah.
And doesn't want anything.
Yep.
You know? And the people that were there and the people that got the invite were a result of that.
Yeah.
And that's where my squad is these days, you know?
Love
It's so much easier to maintain, and I can actually pour myself into the people that I love, and there's no expectations, and you know, I don't want anything from anyone, and I hope it's the same way with the people that I love. And yeah, I've had a long life, and I'm sure you guys have too, of just people just trying to use you to
are just around, yeah.
climb. They're just climbers, bro. And it's like,
That's action sports right there. You
yeah,
know what
but
I mean?
it's so like,
I don't
bro,
think
it's
it's-
so taxing, and
It
it's
goes
just
way deeper than action sports.
Yeah.
it's just life,
Yeah.
bro. It's
Yeah.
it's social climbers. It's like what can I do for you? And it's like, no, man, like, how about just how you doing?
Yeah. What's going on?
Yeah,
How's
how
the
you
kids?
how are you?
Not like how you doing, but like no.
Yeah, like how are you?
How you doing?
How are you?
Yeah.
You know?
Like
yeah. So
very important.
So that was a really special event, and I was stoked at Red Bull. And dude, back to Red Bull, bro. Like, they knew it was my birthday. My actual 20 year was like December 15th, and they were like, "What do you want to do?" I was like, "Man, I'd just love to have all my bros and my family and the wives out to go surf in Palm Springs." And they're
Just
like,
hang.
"That's so sick. Sure, let's make that happen."
You imagine what you would want your birthday party to be 15 years ago compared to what it is now.
I wouldn't-
You know what I
bro,
mean? Like,
His
wouldn't
birthday
remember.
party would have been a shaker. Bro, I went to his house. He used to have a fight club underneath his house.
You did?
And can you imagine for the people
Dude,
that
the
don't
only
understand?
rule of Fight Club, there is no Fight Club.
Bro, first rule of Fight Club, I always talk about Fight Club. This guy would throw shakers at his house. The whole city was there, and then there would be fights. This was before the Ultimate Fighter. This was before like fighting was like where it is today. And there was a full-blown Sheckler Fight Club at his house. Like
I did have the RS Fight Club downstairs.
craziest thing ever.
And-
with the red mats.
Yeah, and it was,
oh,
but that was the easiest way because, bro, there
he'd
was
roll in
so,
with no shirt and the big chain and 50 girls, or not girls, but friends. And like, I'm just like, this is nuts, dude. There was no social media. I couldn't post it. I would have been posting all that.
no, but that's the only reason we got away with it, though, dude.
Yep.
Was like we had friends from school that had beef with other friends, and it was like instead of fighting in the street where everyone's
Just
going to
show
get
up.
arrested, we would just sanction them at my house downstairs.
That's awesome.
And like we would just have full blown fist fights, like time. Like you could use gloves if you wanted, or if you were really pissed, like you.
No
could
one's
fist,
jumping
you could
in,
Fist it
go.
out. No
Get it
one's
off the
no one's getting jumped at the
Yeah.
house, and so like. I mean, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, it was always someone fighting down there.
Sheckler was probably the only kid. I remember he
I
was
love
like
that.
16, 17, and I'll end it with this. But he was in a red Ferrari, and I was in the Lincoln Aviator. What
Yeah,
are you?
a black
Yeah,
Ferrari.
and we're rolling down PCH, and I was like, you know, I'm like a Formula One level driver, so I'm like driving, and I'm like, all right, there's no way I'm gonna beat him. So I go on the wrong side of the road. And this dude goes on the wrong side of the road. I'm like, bro, we're racing down PCH like Fast and Furious. This is life. Like, I'm having the time of my life. And my car had a bunch, Dub Magazine had just outfitted my car, had a bunch of TVs, 22-inch rims. Shout out to
a
Miles
blender.
Kovacs.
What else? A fish tank.
Yeah, had exhibit in the trunk. And it was just chaos. And I'm just like, I don't ever want this to end. But as you get older, you know, I don't drink, I don't do drugs. I got to be around through all the years and really be by Shecks and be a friend of him. But he never let me down. I never let him down. And I feel like you learn a lot about someone too, because you see who's around them when maybe they're not on top. And I hate
Sure.
to put it that way, but there was times where I've seen Sheckler go to the bottom and Sheckler go to the top. He was voted the most popular dude of the 2010s. Like there's a moment where this kid was Justin Bieber, and I give you your flowers for that, because to come out on the other side of that, when maybe skating turned their back on you and you felt like the world was coming down on you, and then you still are this amazing dude, amazing friend, amazing father. You know, it's cool to see everybody evolve. Look at, dude, if you were to meet someone who grew up watching Krusty Demons or Metal Militia, they probably think he is the biggest dickhead and just crazy and chaotic. He's the nicest guy.
Nicest asshole you've ever met.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. So it's like you see these people grow, and it's like, dude, for me to be able to have, you know, floor seats to this, it's been amazing. But that's why we do this spot.
You've earned that spot though, Bear. You've earned that spot with love and brotherhood, dude. Like we've been friends since we were 15, 16 years old. We're the same age, and it's like, you're right. When I was not doing good, you were there. When I was doing good, you were there. Have you ever asked me for anything? No. And this is why we create brands together. This is why we do what we do together. And bro, to be real, three years ago, I came to you broken, bro. And I was like, I don't know what to do. Some sponsorships went away, like lifelong sponsorships went away. And I was like in a struggle, and you told me, just keep doing it, keep skating, get back on your health grind. Let's do this thing. And without you having that personal, and I'm sorry to out that, having that personal meeting with me in the old podcast room before we even had a podcast, it was
the old office. Bro, Sheckler was the first person to post for Jaxxon at my old office, the one in Costa Mesa.
Bro, there was nothing there.
Yeah, there was nothing there. We were in a
Bears sat me down, dude, and just like hit me so real, like a friend would do.
Yep.
Like a brother.
Like a friend, dude. Not someone that was like, hey, we're going to get you good so that we can blow these brands up. No, like he didn't care about the brand. He's never cared about the brands.
Yeah.
You've always cared about me, dude, and I love you, and I'll do anything for you forever.
We have a good team. We have a good team where everybody cares about
Just
each
know
other.
that,
I feel
dude.
like that's like not to
You
go
don't
down
take
the
you
rabbit
don't
hole.
take this very well.
No, but I'm just saying,
You get very
I'm just saying,
uncomfortable.
Like, for the people that don't,
I
for
love
the people,
you.
yeah, for the people, you're the
I
man.
love you.
I'm not as good as expressing the emotions. I know you're yeah, let it out, Shecks. No, but that's what we're trying to do this year. So we'll wrap it up with that, is that we are trying to bring everybody in and out. We just had Julian Beaumer in here earlier. We have all these 250 guys and 450 guys in moto. Like Twitch has been amazing, just like Sheckler, bringing in another culture. We're trying to support these guys at the athlete level too, because there is no more mainstream sponsors. There is no more, hey, if you make this magazine cover, you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do our part as a brand. Well, we make the #1 jewelry for men to elevate the best men and athletes that we know. Women too, we sell some women, but really we had a goal of building the biggest men's jewelry brand. And we're on our way there because of the team around us. So we're all growing together. I think that's the coolest thing about what we got going on.
Yep.
You
And
know?
I think he kind of nailed it of like, it's deeper than a friendship, it's brotherhood. And like, you can really see that, you know, it shines through. And
I mean, look at the way this guy talks about you.
It's the same
insane.
thing. Like
insane the way this guy puts on for you. Like he's always talking about you.
how we can be here at, like, I've looked up to both of these guys my whole entire life, and to now be able to like be in the same room, to call them like friends, true friends and brothers, is like, that's the most important thing. It's authenticity to its finest. And that's what I've loved about that I've known these guys over the years, that they've never changed as a person. You know what I mean? Like, you know, yes, things have changed, and that's the only
Well,
constant.
he changes when he goes from the hat to the beanie.
Yeah.
It's like a whole different person. And I'm working on my Red Bull hat. Before we wrap
Which you'll
this
never
up,
have.
Before we wrap this up, congratulations on the most viral
you.
video of the
Yes,
year.
congrats,
Congratulations on making something that I never thought would be possible, bringing two of the biggest brands on the planet like Apple and Red Bull together for a video of you on a bike. I mean, amazing content.
Thank you.
Absolutely
Appreciate it.
amazing. And we got a legend in the room. We got to just at least introduce him while
Yes,
we
we
have Shecks
do.
and everybody
Yeah,
here.
Cab.
Come over here real quick so we could just say hi.
Steve Caballero, ladies and
Caballero.
We
gentlemen.
have another podcast, Mr. Caballero, the one and only.
Yeah, Cab.
What a pioneer, what an icon. The one and only. Twitch is just going as big as he can. What's up, brother?
My favorite shoe for my whole life.
Can't wait. So we got a pod coming after this with the one and only Steve Caballero, just a complete pioneer and icon in the game of skating. And we're excited to kind of jump right into this. Thank you guys for watching. We have a bunch of the brand new behind the scenes content coming on our Behind the Brand page on YouTube. We have a lot of clips and shorts coming to Twitch's YouTube. What we're trying to do this year is really just get you guys as much content with all the riders and athletes when they're in the Jaxxon Media House, whether they're training with Joe Cancelleri or they're here just to do a podcast and content. Make sure you guys go check it out. Plus, we just dropped our brand new JX2 watch and all of our new chains on Jaxxon.com.
Boom.
You know what it is. We also have our brand new rubber straps. Oh, and by the way, Twitch and Sheckler both have a brand new sneaker and a brand new set of eyewear that's going live with Nordstrom nationwide. These guys are bringing the action sports culture and the vibe of just real premium, modern, everyday wear back to the game. So they have a brand new Santo Studio collection going live in Nordstrom this week. So we're doing it on all fronts, and I'm just excited to be growing with you guys. Here's to an insane 2026.
Wow.